I'm going to show you how to make your own minimalist designs in pencil super quickly. We're going to create two designs in this video, both very popular design styles. The first I'm going to start with is a pair of earrings. So let's grab some stones. We are going to make a pair of stud earrings. We're going to do it with round stones. The size we're going to do is going to be 3 millimeters. We are going to use bezels for this. You could use bezels or baskets. I would not recommend using pave or flush, just because they need to sit on a surface. Let's grab diamonds to start with. Great, we'll just double click to place that. Okay, and then I always like to rotate stones after I've placed them, so let's rotate that. Remember, you can use the cube here to change your view. We're going to change it to the right hand side, and then I'll spin this around just by holding on to that line there, dragging it with my mouse and zooming in, using the grid just to see how everything's lined up. We'll click the green check mark to lock that into place. You can see here, this is our little bezel here. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is actually put an earring post on it. What we need to do is we actually need to cover up the back. So if you have worked with designs before, you'll know an earring needs an earring like this will need somewhere to put the post. So we can either do that by putting a little bar across it. Alternatively, you could actually put the post on the top, but most of the time you want the post to sit in the middle. Great way to do this is with elements. Elements have a lot of uses. It's not just about finding like interesting shapes to use. You can also use it for standard building blocks. So let's try rectangle. Okay, and this one looks good. Let's start by placing it on the back here. It's going to be a little fiddly to place to begin with, just because it's trying to stick to a surface. I'm going to place it in mid-air. So this is a little trick you can do in pencil. It doesn't have to hug the surface. You can place it in mid-air if you want. And what I'm going to do now is use advanced move to move this here and move it up so it's in line. Now let's also see where it is on the other axis. Okay, so we're going to move it along here. Great. That's starting to look right. Now we want to change the size of this. Let's make it a little bit smaller, a little bit larger. Okay, let's just click the green check mark. We're going to make a few more adjustments to this, but at the very least, let's put it in place there. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that in pencil, when you are creating designs, there is something that happens at the end of the process where we actually cut out material on the inside of a stone setting. So you can go ahead and do this and actually put this in here, and then at the very end, pencil's actually going to remove all that excess material in there. It's just part of the post-processing that's done to make a design manufacturing ready. So even though that is, potentially where the stone should go, pencil will just automatically cut all of that away. What you'll be left with though is this little ridge across the back that you can place a stone setting on. So we're going to click the green check mark here. Let's go now to components and let's just have a look. That's looking good. Let's grab an earring post. Let's put it on. One thing you'll notice is when you click on earring post in pencil, it'll automatically rotate you to the back. This is deliberate. It's because earring posts are typically put on the back of designs, so to save you having to go there yourself. So we'll just double click and put that in place. Now, what you might also need to just bear in mind is that when you actually make something, the earring post typically isn't cast with the piece. So when you're putting an earring post in a design in pencil, typically that's just for display purposes. So you can say to the person making it, this is where I want my earring post to go. Okay, so now we've created a simple bezel set diamond earring. If you wanted to make these into a pair, well, you just make two of them. And that's one of the great things about pencil is if you're designing things in pairs, you only need to design one, and then you can say to your factory, make me two of these every time you take an order from me, and there you're making a pair. All right, let's go in and let's make a simple minimal ring as well. So if I wanted to go to another design, I can just select templates, go through and then select a new template. It'll save this design and then it'll start a new one. So let's go and let's grab a really slim ring to do this. I want to do it with the slim square signet. Here's our slim square signet. This design is like cool enough that you could just keep it as it is and not make any changes to it and get it made exactly as it is, or do like a little engraving on top. I'm going to add a tiny little stone set into the top of it, just to add something a little bit extra to it. We'll go with a round stone. I'm going to use a really small one. I'm going to use a 1mm, and I'm going to do a flush set diamond, just to add something to this ring. Cool. So again, using that cube to get the view from the top, and zooming right the way in. I actually want to have this off center, so maybe top left. I think I like the look of. So it's just a little offset flush set diamond that's going to be sitting in there in this tiny minimalist square signet ring, and that's another design created there. For your next steps, you could click on Get It Made to connect directly with a manufacturer or a maker to have it made. You could also just download and get that STL and send that to your existing casting house or manufacturer or factory.